Ross, we're looking at missionary platforms. That seems to be kind of a broad subject. What does that really describe?
Well, but I think broadly speaking, we could look at two ways of going. One is traditional missionary. I go as a pastor, as an evangelist, as a church planter. I call myself a missionary, funded by a church, funded by an agency. Then there's another track where I go by means of a platform. Maybe one of two reasons at least. Firstly, there's nobody to fund me. Church doesn't want to fund me, don't have friends with money. Secondly, and more important perhaps, the country I'm going to wouldn't receive me as a missionary. So I need to have what we call a tent-making job. And classically, if we look at the Bible, Paul himself speaks of his tent-making role. In one place in Thessalonians, he says, I work day and night making tents so that I might preach the gospel to you. So it's a biblical concept.
And what kinds of things are you going to be teaching in this tract? What are you going to teach people how to be doctors or what?
No. They've got to come prepared for the party. If you take my own example, I went to Taiwan in 1969. That's a long time ago. I showed my university degree, went into Taiwan University, taught English. I was doing student work, but my day job, in a sense, was teaching English. I saw students come to Christ who have been 30, 40 years in full-time Christian ministry. So by teaching English, I wanted to be the best English teacher in the department, but I wanted to share my faith in Jesus. Now, there are all kinds of different ways you can go. It's fascinating these days. Almost every profession could find a role. But the other thing I want to teach is this. It's what kind of person can succeed in that. It's not every doctor or engineer or English teacher will succeed. What do we need spiritually? What do we need practically to do to prepare? And that will be partly to do with me. It'll also be to do with people behind me. We call it a PAC team. It's a group of people who'll pray for me, who'll advise me, who'll care for me.
What does PAC stand for?
A Personal Accountability and Care Team.
That sounds like something every missionary ought to have.
Absolutely, Brad.